Maybe I should just take a year off. I mean, after this, you don't really need me if you're into budget hi-fi. You don't need my advice anymore after this because of this. This is the CCA CRA. We're going to check it out. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. I'm here today. I'm just going to say it right up front. I'm here today with a game changer. This is the CCA CRA. The box is the standard fare for CCA, sorry. Standard box, pretty limited accessories inside. You get the one cable, although in this case it is detachable, and you get a few pairs of shitty silicone ear tips. Enough with the box. Let's have a look at these earphones. CCA CRA. Look, you want your TLDR? CCA didn't raise the bar with these. They broke it, okay? It's just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. First of all, let's have a real quick look at the build. Come in for a closer look. Right, so you got these nice polished face plates with the CCA branding on there. You got that typical shrouded or hooded 2-pin connector, bit of a transparent shell going on there. You can see the dynamic driver in there, the single 10mm dynamic driver. As far as the cable goes, you're looking at one of these, similar to the one that is on the, the KZ EDC, but this one is detachable. It's got a right-angled connector, and there's a mic version available as well. And actually these budget KZ or CCA microphones are actually pretty good. So that's the cable, not too shabby. By the way, the price of the CCA CRA is $14. I'm not kidding, $14. Let's move that cable out of the way. Let's talk about how these babies sound. You probably heard or picked up on some of the hype already if you're watching this video, or maybe you're just a CCA fan. Well, let me tell you now, if you're looking to buy something in the budget area, stop looking around and just buy these now. Just don't waste any time, just buy them. Because I tell you what, these are the best IEMs you can get for under $50, and they might even go a little bit above that. They are not giant killers. That is still a myth in this day and age. It's still a myth. They're not giant killers, but these will compete well above their price point and with just about anything you can find or think of in that sort of $50 range, sub 50, and you know, maybe even up to 100. These are competitive. I don't want to overstate their prowess, but they're pretty bloody good. Let me tell you why. Well, in terms of signature, it's got a nice balanced presentation. It's got an slightly emphasized mid bass. It's got fairly forward vocals or mid-range and instruments in the mid-range, and it's got a well extended but very smooth treble. So you could say, once again, we have something that's sort of chasing that Harman target or that Harman target curve, but it does things a little bit differently. One of the major weaknesses or drawbacks of a Harman target is generally a fairly small soundstage and limited amount of detail retrieval. The CRA doesn't really suffer from that. And this is part of what makes it so crazy. $14. This is a $14 IEM. Single 10mm dynamic driver. Bass is tight. The bass is pretty fast. It's pretty speedy. It doesn't bleed over into the mid-range. It's not perfect. It's somewhat lacking in texture. It's not the most textured bass. And personally, for my own personal preference, I would like a little bit more mid-bass presence. You know, I like bass. And I like hearing bass guitar riffs, etc. And sometimes I just feel like it could be just a little bit more up front in terms of that mid bass and upper bass. but it's very clean, it's really nice, and for the most part it delivers impact and slam, punch, all that stuff, and a pretty good sub-bass rumble as well. And then you've got the mid-range, and the mids are pretty forward. Vocals and instruments are nicely forward. The timbre of the mids is pretty darn good. Like the accuracy of the tone throughout the entire IEM is pretty good. Way better than you'd expect for the price point or the price range. And you know, vocals are articulate, instrument separation is excellent, overall resolution is pretty darn good in the context of the budget IEM realm. That is, the resolution is very good, detail is excellent. And then you've got the treble, and the difference between these, the CRA, and a lot of the Harman Target IEMs, the CRA has good treble extension. It's just there. It's just there. The treble is up there. The treble detail is there, but it's a very, very smooth treble. You will not feel fatigue or any harshness or any sibilance or sharpness with these IEMs, but at the same time, you're hearing your hi-hats, you're hearing your crash cymbals. It's nice and clear, it's crisp, it's fairly precise, but there's no fatiguing, there's no brightness or sharpness up there. It's ridiculous. Oh yeah, one thing that I do not like about the physical build of the CRA is, once again, we see these stupid narrow nozzles, and if you've got little hamster ears, it won't bother you in the least. But if you've got man-size ears and you want to use third-party ear tips, this is going to pose a little bit of a challenge, because a lot of third-party ear tips feel loose on these narrow diameter nozzles, and that's a real pain. I wish CCA and KZ would just stop doing that. But back to the sound. In terms of technicalities, these actually perform pretty darn well. The soundstage is not huge, but it's fairly large, and it's organized too. Like the spacing between instruments is pretty good. It's not a pure black background, but it is darn good. Once again, coming back to the price, it's ridiculous. The overall resolution, as I said, is pretty darn good as well. It's not the most precise in terms of imaging and layering and instrument position and whatnot. Really, the greatest strength of the CCA CRA is its tonal balance. It just sounds very natural. It sounds engaging. It's mostly neutral, but just slightly on the warmer side of neutral. It doesn't sound thin or anemic. It's a very clean sound. It's a very clear sound, good clarity, detail. Technicalities are pretty good. Everything is good, man. And I just don't know what else to say. This is a game changer. This is, so far, the best IEM of the year, and I wouldn't be surprised if I'm saying that at the end of 2022, at least in the budget segment, you know. Although I'm hyping the shit out of this and I'm praising it like there's no tomorrow, there are better things out there. Like, if you're going to pay over $100, there are many IEMs that perform better than these. But I'm saying, for the ridiculous price of $14, I can't think of anything that performs as well as this IEM. I'm not even going to make any comparisons in this video, because there's just nothing that can compete. So guys, that is the CCA CRA. Just get them, man. They are so good. All right. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, Parfam audiophile style. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more reviews like this in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you later.